These are the lesson 4 practice problems. Okay, in problem A, we have two mixed numbers, 4 1/2 and 2 4/5. We're going to multiply these two mixed numbers. What we have to do first, however, is to change them to improper fractions, and we do that by multiplying 4 times 2 and adding 1. So that would give us 9/2 times, we multiply the whole number by the denominator, 2 times 5, and we add the numerator. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14/5. Then we look at the two improper fractions that we have, and we see that this denominator and this numerator have a common factor of 2. We divide 2 into 2, and we also divide it into 7. That gives us 7/5 here. Now we multiply numerator by numerator. 9 times 7 is 63. And denominator times denominator. 1 times 5 is 5. Now we want to change this back to a mixed number. So what we do is we make a division sign by the denominator, and we put the numerator under that division sign. 5 goes into 6 once. 1 times 5 is 5, and then we subtract and bring down the 3. 5 goes into 13 twice. 2 times 5 is 10. And we subtract, and we have a remainder of 3. We put that remainder over the denominator of 5 that we had. And our answer for this, then, the best answer back into mixed numbers, is 12 3/5. In this problem, we have a division, okay? Two mixed numbers to divide. We begin exactly the same way. 3 times 4 plus 1 is 13/4. Divided by 1 times 8 plus 3, 11/8. Now, when we have a division sign, we have to multiply by the reciprocal of this second fraction right here. Okay, so we have to multiply by the reciprocal. That would be 8/11. Again, we see that we can cancel. 4 will go into itself once and into 8 twice. This is 13. That's not a cancellation sign. 2 times 13 is 26, divided by 11. And we put the 26 underneath. 11 will go into 26 2 times, giving us 22. We subtract, and we get 4/11. So our best answer is the mixed number 2 and 4/11. Let me just circle that. Okay, now these are decimals, and for the most part you're going to be able to use your calculators to do these. However, I want to go over what you do and what you should have learned in elementary school in grades K through 8. Whenever we're adding decimals, we have to line up the decimal points. So the first number is 47 123 thousandths. Under this, we're going to put an 8 and the decimal point right underneath, 416 thousandths. And then we have 705.4. If it helps, you can put in a couple of zeros. They don't make any difference there. Okay, so we're going to add. We have 3 plus 6 plus 0 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus another 4 is 9. We bring down that decimal point. Now we have 7 plus 8, 15, plus 5 is 20. We put a 2 up over the 4. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 0 is 6. And this is our final and best answer for that. So you line up the decimal points in order to add or subtract decimal numbers. You make sure that all the ones place numbers are right under each other, all the tens place numbers are under each other, and all the hundreds place numbers, in this case there's only one, are under each other. This is the tenths place, they all have to be under each other. The hundredths place right here, they all have to be under each other, as do the thousands place numbers. Okay, this one is 862 100ths and 75 and 88 100ths. Again, when we're subtracting, we line up those decimal points. Now, in order to take 8 away from 2, I have to borrow from the 6. That makes it a 5, and I put the 1 I borrowed right here. 12 minus 8 is 4. I can't subtract 8 from 5 either, so I've got to go all the way over to this 8. And I borrow that 1, I cross it out here, make it a 9, cross it out here, make it a 9, and I finally get to put the 1 there by the 5. 15 minus 8 is 7. Bring down the decimal point. No more borrowing now. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 7 minus nothing is 7. And this is the best answer. Okay, now when we multiply decimal numbers, we really don't have to worry about lining up decimal points. We have to worry about the decimal points at the end of the problem. So I'm going to multiply. It's usual, like when you have whole numbers, to put the smaller number underneath. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 plus 2. 2 times 1 is, this is 2. 2 times 7 is 14, carry a 1, and 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now I put a 0 here under this 0, and I move in 1 space to multiply by the 4. 4 times 5 is 20, so I leave a 0 here, and I carry a 2 now. 2 times 2 is 4. These two are crossed out. And 4 times 2, I'm sorry, I'm multiplying by the 4. I got a little mixed up there, crossing things out. 4 times, this should be an 8, and it doesn't look too much like an 8. 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, carry a 2. And 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. We now multiply by the 6, and we have to put now 2 zeros, and we get 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So this gets crossed out, and a 3 goes here. 3 plus 0 is 6 times 3, 18. Carry a 1. 6 times 7, 42. Add a 1. That's 43. We're carrying a 4 now over. And 6 times 8 is, we add those two. 6 times 8 would be 48. And our grand total now, I'm running out of space here, so I think I'm going to enter. And that's not doing anything. I have a 0. I'll put my answer over here. 2. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry a 1. 10, 18, 26. Carry a 2. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Carry a 1. A 10, carry a 1, and a 5. Now in this decimal number we had 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. We count from the left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 6 times 6.42 times 47.5 should be 503 and 622 thousandths. We don't count that final 0. We can take it off. Okay, now this problem is a division. Okay, and we're going to do this. 4 100ths is the divisor, and we're going to divide it into 4 28 thousandths. Now when we divide, we move the point 2 places, and we make this the whole number 4. We move the point here as well, and we put our decimal point right up on the line. So 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 0, remainder is 0, we bring down the 0, 4 goes into 0 0 times, we bring down the 2, 4 goes into 2 0 times, and then we bring down the 8, and 4 goes into 28 evenly 7 times. So our answer is 107 tenths. Okay, now unit multipliers are the last concept in this lesson, and some people have trouble with them. You have to have remembered and memorized that table of 7 conversions on page 21 in your textbook. And we need to go from 75 feet into centimeters. Okay, so we're going from what's called a British measurement to a metric measurement. I lost that for a minute. 75 feet, British, this is metric. Okay, whatever we are converting, and this is what we're converting, this word always comes before it. That always goes over 1 with its unit, the abbreviation of its unit right beside it. We're going to use 2 unit multipliers, so I suggest putting in immediately the 2 fraction lines. Now we don't want feet anymore. That has to go into the denominator because this feet is in the numerator. We're going to be able to cancel this out exactly as we do a number. And we remember that 1 foot equals 12 inches. Okay, we don't want inches, we want to go into centimeters, so we have to use that little bridge that 1 inch is 1.54 centimeters. Let me see on page 21. I've forgotten that myself. And it's 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. It's the bridge from British measurements into metric measurements. Now that we're done, we can cancel out our feet, just like we're canceling out a number, and inches, just like we're canceling out a number. The only unit we're left with is centimeters. This is the abbreviation for centimeters. We have 75, then you don't have to multiply these out, times 12 times 2.54 centimeters. Okay, and just 1's in the bottom. When you have a 1 in the bottom, 1 times 1, you don't need it. Okay, now we want to go from 450 inches to miles. Remember, this word convert and the number that comes after it with its unit goes right over 1. 450 inches, and we make a fraction line and we put a 1 underneath. And again, we're using 2 unit multipliers. We want to make 2 fraction lines. Immediately we put this unit, inches, in the bottom because we want to go to miles. So we remember that 12 inches, that number has to go right by the inches, equals 1 foot. Now we can cancel out the inches. We don't want feet either, so that has to go in the bottom. And we remember that 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. Now we can cancel out our inches, we can cancel out our feet, and we have our answer. And remember, we do not have to multiply these out. That's the only thing that appears in the numerator. 450 times 1 times 1 is 450. 1 times 12 times 5,280. Those two numbers go into the denominator, and we use the word miles, or the abbreviation for the word miles there. So those two are our answers, and this concludes the practice problem review for you.